John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Series testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing another head by Simmons. I've tested quite a few of their heads and I've really liked all of them. If you just search in YouTube, Simmons and Lusk, you'll see all the ones that I've tested so far. But today I'm going to be testing their new Mako 125 grain. Previously I tested their 100 grain Mako and it was the vented style head. Now they filled that in, making it 125 grains, and so I'll be putting that to the test. And for this test I'm using my protocol for 2023, and to learn about why I do it and explain all the tests, please check out the video that I have. It's called 2023 Broadhead Test Process, and or you can read about it in the description box right below this video and see how it performed in each of the tests that I'm going to be putting it through. So let's zoom on in here and check out the design features and specifications and then put it to that test. Oh, and I'm going to be using my Bowtech CP28 set at 72 pounds, 27-inch draw, and I'm using Bishop FOC King arrows for most of the shooting, but I'm using the Bishop FAD eliminators for the really hard impact stuff because they can take a licking, let me tell you. All right, let's check out this Mako non-vented 125 grain. This is a really nice looking broadhead. I love all the Simmons broadheads, but this one really looks especially sleek and lethal, okay? Really high specifications, tolerances. It's just well constructed, really nice looking. First of all, the materials. Let's go through the materials. The main blade, or the blades, are all 440C stainless steel, brought to a Rockwell hardness of 54. The ferrule is made out of a proprietary aluminum, and they don't like to share what it is because they feel like they're onto something and they don't want it to be imitated. And from all my testing of Simmons heads, the ferrules have held up very well, so they apparently are really onto something. We'll see when we test this one. It's got this classic Simmons concave design that reduces the overall blade surface area, as opposed to if this was just a straight cut across here that would be filled in. There'd be more surface area, so it's going to aid in penetration and it's going to aid in flight because there's less friction on the blades. And for the same reasons, the blades are flared back like that, just as opposed to if they came straight up, it reduces the overall weight, reduces the surface area, and it's going to aid in penetration and flight and make it easier to pull back out of a target as well. As for the dimensions, it's 1¼ inches of cut this way, which is a nice wide cut, and then 7/8 of an inches of cut this way, so a total cut of 2.125 inches, which is a really nice cut for a fixed blade broadhead especially. The main blade is 0.050 inches thick. That's really nice, thicker than the vast majority of heads in its class. And even the bleeders are 0.036 inches thick, which is thicker than a lot of the main blades of other broadheads. A lot of times bleeders are really thin because they're just designed to open up a wound channel and they don't really care if they break off. But these are, actually really stout. They're short, they're thick, and really nice design to them. So I imagine they're going to be really durable. It's a true 4-blade broadhead in that sense. Now the back ends are not sharpened there. It's double bevel, sharpened all the way around. And you notice the tip has a little extra flare to it. That's just to give it more durability, making it a little wider than if it angled all the way straight to the point. It's going to give a little bit more strength there to this last unsupported part of the blade. Now, sometimes people shy away from a curved blade like this because they think it's going to be really hard to sharpen, and it certainly could be. But the Stay Sharp Guide has a solution for that. There's C sharpener, like the letter C, for all concave, like this way heads that are curved this way, or convex. Any curved blade works really good with the C sharpener. So if you pick one of those up, man, you can really hone these things to a fine edge. So really impressive design, impressive materials, really eager to test this head and see how it performs. Wow, it only took 125 grams of force to cut through the wire. That might be the sharpest of any head that I've tested so far. So it's actually even beyond a 10 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated 7.5 inches. It took an extra 75 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is an 8.5 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated through 55 layers. It's in excellent condition after going through the MDF 3 times. Here it is after the 2 shots through the steel plate, and you can see it held together extremely well. There's the slightest bit of edge chatter that you can really only see if you get the light just right on the blade. You can see it there in the top part of the blade. And then the holes, they're more like slits, but they're really nice size slits with that wider cutting diameter and a decent size cross blade there. So here it is after all the durability tests, the MDF 3 times, the steel plate 2 times, and then sticking really deeply into the concrete. I mean, it was one of the deepest penetrations into the concrete that I've seen, and it was really hard to get out. And as I was chiseling with a hammer and chisel to get it out, it took about 15 minutes. I could see this one portion, boom, when I hit with the hammer, I could see it, a little fracture just appear right there. I don't even know if you can see it in the video, but there's a slight external fracture there. But that wasn't from the impact. But man, it held up really well, surprisingly well, honestly, in that hard impact test. So what'd you think? Man, this head is a performer, right? I mean, it looks wicked cool, but then its performance backs up its looks, okay? It's nice when they both work in tandem like that. It just did not really have a weakness. It scored very well in each of the tests. And so, Simmons, man, you're doing everything right. I hope you just continue to keep up the great work. Check out the score sheet and see how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most, and see if it might be a good fit for you. And stay tuned for the cumulative score and the overall Lusk grade.